I want you to think about the women in your life right now, not the ones who wear their hearts on their sleeves, but the ones who seem careful, guarded, the ones who pull back just when things get too real. What if I told you that some of the most profound love stories are hidden in plain sight? That the woman who seems indifferent might be the one fighting the hardest battle, the battle against her own heart. Today, we're exploring something most people never talk about: the secret language of hidden love. The signs that appear when someone cares too much to show it. These aren't the obvious signals you've heard before. These are the subtle, almost imperceptible tells that emerge when the heart is at war with the mind. Oh, and before we continue, I've got something special for you, a free ebook, The Female Mind Control Handbook. It reveals the hidden secrets to making any woman crave you. Grab it now, link in the description or pinned comment. Stay with me. What you're about to learn might change everything you thought you knew about the women around you. 1. The archaeology of her attention. Love leaves traces even when we're trying to erase them. Like an archaeologist uncovering ancient civilizations, you can discover evidence of her feelings in the sedimentary layers of her behavior. Watch how she interacts with your digital presence, not the obvious likes and comments. Those are performed attention. I'm talking about the subtle archaeology of modern connection. She watches your stories, but never first. She's always there, but never obviously. She remembers details from your posts weeks later, weaving them into conversation as if they just occurred to her. She knows your patterns better than you know them yourself. I once knew a woman who could tell you exactly when I posted anything, though she never engaged immediately. She'd mention something I'd shared 3 days later, casually, as if she'd just stumbled across it. She was curating her own attention, rationing her visibility, but she was always there. This is different from casual interest. This is archaeological attention, deep, systematic, careful. She's studying you like a text she's trying to understand, but afraid to admit she's reading. The woman who loves you in secret doesn't just see your posts. She sees the story behind them. She notices when you're feeling off, when you're excited about something, when you're struggling. She becomes a student of your emotional landscape, but she never lets you know she's been taking notes. 2. The paradox of protective distance. Here's something counterintuitive. Sometimes the woman who loves you most is the one who seems to need you least. She's mastered the art of caring deeply while appearing completely self-sufficient. This isn't playing hard to get, it's something far more complex. It's the paradox of protective distance, loving someone so much that you can't risk being vulnerable with them. She'll be the first to offer help when you're struggling, but she'll never ask for help herself. She'll remember your problems and check in on you, but she'll minimize her own challenges. She's created an emotional fortress where she can care for you without exposing her own needs. I've seen this in women who've been hurt before, who've learned that needing someone is dangerous. They love by giving, by being useful, by being indispensable, but never by being vulnerable. She might cancel plans when things get too intimate, not because she doesn't want to be there, but because she wants to be there too much. She'll create distance precisely when the connection feels most real, like someone stepping back from a fire they're afraid might burn them. This protective distance isn't rejection, it's self-preservation. She's not trying to hurt you, she's trying to survive loving you. 3. The language of deflected intimacy. When someone is trying not to show love, they develop a sophisticated language of deflection. They find ways to express deep feelings while maintaining plausible deniability. Listen to how she talks about you to others. Not what she says, what she doesn't say. The woman who loves you in secret will defend you fiercely, but she'll never explain why. She'll advocate for you without claiming any special knowledge or connection. She'll say things like, "He's dealing with a lot right now," when others criticize you, as if she's just being fair-minded. But notice the protective tone, the way she redirects negative attention away from you. She's shielding you while pretending it's just basic human decency. In direct conversation, she might express care through abstract principles rather than personal feelings. Instead of "I worry about you," she'll say, "People should take better care of themselves." Instead of "I miss you," she'll say, "It's important to maintain friendships." She's found a way to love you in the third person, to care for you through universal truths rather than personal confessions. It's intimacy disguised as philosophy, affection wrapped in general principles. 4. The choreography of calculated casualness. There's an art to appearing casual when every interaction is carefully choreographed. The woman who loves you but won't show it becomes a master of calculated spontaneity. She'll happen to be places where you might be. She'll remember you mentioned liking a particular coffee shop and suggest meeting there. She'll coincidentally have tickets to something you'd enjoy. Every accident is deliberate. Every coincidence is planned. But here's the sophisticated part. She makes it look effortless. She's created a system where she can be near you without seeming to pursue you. She's choreographed casualness so well that even she might convince herself it's natural. Watch for the woman who always seems to have exactly what you need at exactly the right moment. She's not psychic. She's paying attention in ways that require significant emotional investment. She's studied your patterns, your preferences, your needs, and she's positioned herself to be helpful without seeming intentional about it. This choreography extends to her emotional availability. She'll be there for your crises, but unavailable for your celebrations. She'll support you through difficulty, but disappear when things are going well. She's allowing herself to be needed, but not to be wanted. 5. The semiotics of selective sharing. The woman who loves you secretly becomes a master of strategic vulnerability. She shares pieces of herself, but never the whole picture. She reveals just enough to create connection, but never enough to expose her full feelings. She might tell you about her childhood, but not about how your opinion of her stories matters more than anyone else's. She'll share her struggles at work, but not that she imagines telling you about her day every evening. She'll open up about her fears, but not that her biggest fear is how much she cares about you. This selective sharing creates a peculiar intimacy. She trusts you with important parts of her life, but she doesn't trust you with the truth about how important you are to her life. Notice what she doesn't share. The woman who loves you in secret will tell you about her anxiety, but not that you're the only person who calms it. She'll mention feeling lonely, but not that she's lonely for you specifically. She'll talk about wanting to find someone special, but she won't admit she's already found them. She's sharing her inner world while carefully editing out the parts where you live. If you recognize these signs in someone, approach with gentleness. The woman who loves in secret has usually learned to do so for good reasons. She's not hiding her feelings to hurt you. She's hiding them to protect herself. The most profound love is often the quietest. It's the love that shows up in archaeological attention, in protective distance, in deflected intimacy. It's the love that speaks in the language of philosophy rather than poetry, that expresses itself through choreographed casualness rather than grand gestures. Understanding this kind of love requires patience, observation, and emotional intelligence. It requires seeing beyond the surface, reading between the lines, recognizing that sometimes the deepest care is expressed through the most careful distance. If this resonated with you, if you've recognized these patterns in your own life, share your experiences in the comments. Sometimes the most important conversations happen when we finally name what we've been feeling. And remember, not all love is meant to be declared. Some love is meant to be lived quietly, carefully, protectively. Understanding this doesn't mean you have to accept it forever, but it does mean you can approach it with the wisdom it deserves.